What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Dig It podcast. I'm your host, Drew Walsh, and today we got special guest CJ Turn2Fitness, CJ Lauriello of CJ Turn2Fitness in the house out of the Big Apple. Man, I love talking to New Yorkers. I'm born and raised in New York, and it's just always fun to have a conversation with fellow New Yorkers. So, CJ, Coach CJ, welcome on, man. Just
What's
tell
up,
that
guys? How's everybody doing?
we're doing great
So,
now. Just
so
tell
I
it.
mean, I was physically born in New York, but I was raised in Miami.
That's
Now I'm playing,
right.
man.
That's right. You went down south on us, man. I don't
Yeah, I
blame
went
you.
down south, but I came back to my roots, man. I'm back, giving back to the community, helping our boys out here and our girls, trying to be the best they could be, and make great careers out of their, athletic abilities.
Love that. Coach CJ, tell our listeners a little bit about yourself. Like, I got to meet you right before I left, right? Like, I was doing some stuff out in Queens, more infield related, and that's where your previous gym or satellite gym was out of. Tell the listeners a little bit about, like, man, your story, like you played baseball and then how you got to where you are today.
Well, I played baseball, had a great career down in Miami, played for Miami-Dade and Bethune-Cookman. Unfortunately, got hurt my senior year, and that put me on the path I am today. I got really big into physical therapy, personal training, and try to find how I could maximize myself, and get myself back to that playing shape. And along that course, I was helping out kids and, training them both hitting, fielding, outfield work, strength conditioning. I was doing it all. And, it just I had, a lot of fun doing that and just seeing the results, seeing the passion in the kids, how they really looked up to me and, obviously them getting their results, it was just a good feeling, just giving back and, watching them, be better than what I was, being honest,
Right.
and I had a coach tell me that one time and it really stuck with me, like, I made a comment like, yo, I'm gonna be better than you. And he's like, you're supposed to be, and
I
I
love
was like,
that. I
whoa,
love it.
like that really stuck, So that's one of my biggest philosophies, with my business, with my kids. I want them to be better than what I was. I had a phenomenal career. I was able to get my degrees through college, through baseball, going to college. And it set me up on the path I am today to be as successful as I am. So my theory is if my kids could do something similar to that or even better, they're going to be in a better spot than I am. So that means we'll have great professionals, great individuals in society really making an impact.
I absolutely love that. And like I always make it a point when we have our guest on and they just tell us a little bit about their background story. Like a lot of us came from playing, right? Like and we enjoyed doing it and then we kind of fell into this coaching thing and loved it and then pursued it, right? Like
Pretty much, yeah.
it's not like that like magic like it's no we enjoyed this thing we would do it for free at first because we liked it so
Right.
much and we liked it so much we started to learn about it more, we got better at it, people in front of us got better,
But
and
don't
then
lie, that's between us. That's how I moved to New York. So I'm sure you guys know the Palacio brothers. They're really like my little cousins, real close
yes.
to my family. I had came out here and just on vacation to hang out, see the fam. And they were young. I had a couple guys, that wanted to work out, and I just wanted to help kids out. And sure enough, they reached out and gave me an opportunity. And I was like, you know what? I saw there's more to work with out here than in Miami. You know what I'm saying? And
That's
just a lot
crazy.
more
No one
kids.
would really.
Yeah, well, there's 1,000 of me in Miami. There's a lot of good college baseball players, and it's just no lie. I just saw a really big lack of knowledge from the game, and just teaching these kids these little things or how to anticipate better. Like we were talking about, just generating an explosive first step and teaching them how to do that. Where they could be in better position to make plays and have better outcomes. You know what I'm saying? Like I just felt like I had more of a purpose here than back home. And, I took a gamble. I didn't know anybody, and it was scary as hell, to do
I
this, to
bet.
make a big jump. Like no lie, I didn't know anybody but my family. To having what I have today, I'm very blessed. I'm very thankful, and I'm very happy that my kids were able to be, just as well as I am, and even better. Not only I have kids making it to the MLB and NFL, but like I told you, I have kids that are nurses, doctors, lawyers, big in finance, and when I first started this journey, I had no vision of any of that. I was just like, dude, I want to help these kids out, they're keep them off the street, being
Yeah.
productive to being what it is now. It's pretty dope when you look back and think about it.
Oh, man, I love that. I love that so much. Back to like not only the fun part, but like everything you're saying. Like we're not talking about training X's and O's, squat, deadlift, broad jump,
See,
sprint. Like we're talking about life, right? Like it's
yeah,
bigger than that. It's way bigger than that, and I think it has to be because this is a hard industry, right? Like it's just a hard
it is.
industry,
But you
but
know
when you
what?
love it,
You where you love it, but the cool thing is about it, like we are who we are because of that journey that we went through to try to become professional baseball players. We were
yes,
able to pick up great work ethics, great life lessons, through our failures. But along the journey, we were able to build great networks. You know what I'm saying? And look at it, I was able to make a great person just like you. Just working in the gym and being cool. No ego.
yes.
Just what, you were doing some dope things with your kids. I was training, we caught each other's, interests, and, great conversations always sparked from then, and it was dope because everything was always about giving back. And like we said, no egos. Like you shot me great info that I could apply with my kids and vice versa, to where we could get the best for our kids in our community, and it was pretty dope.
And that was quick and just for the like listeners, me and you have had only a few interactions, right? But
Yeah,
like
personal, but I feel
personal,
like I
but
know you. I feel like I know you
yeah,
real well.
like I just know you're a good person. I know you have a good like you're in it for the right reasons. I know you care about it. Like and any of those three, you automatically have my respect outside of just like the awesome interactions we've had. Like I've come to you about business questions. You've been more than open to give me ton of value, right? Just with no expectations, right? Like you didn't have any expectations for me to pay you right away or give you this. It was like, yo, good person trying to do good things for the community.
Like
Let's help each other out.
my thing with that, I mean, you got to give a little. I mean, it just is what it is. I
Sure.
mean, I know a lot of people look at it from a monetary standpoint, when it comes to business and training. And yes, you do got to pay the bills, but if you look at your person like a dollar sign, it's going to be a lot harder to do that. You know what I'm saying? You got to really connect with these people. And one of my best lessons I learned out here, working for the corporate gym crunch, one of my managers told me, there's three S's in this business, and if you can nail two of them, you're going to be very successful. He told me there's sales, service, and science. And you see it all the time. There's guys that don't know much, but they got great
Killing
service,
it.
and,
Kill.
and they could talk a great game, and they have phenomenal businesses. What I'm saying? That there's guys that can't hold the conversation, but they're brainiacs. You know what I'm saying? And they're able to get phenomenal results out of their people. They get the sale because they got proof of
Yes.
concept. So my thing is, I obviously I'm a perfectionist, so I want to master all three from a science level, service level, and the sales level, because I want to do the best for my family, lead by good example. Because like I was telling you before, I have kids in different fields, and sometimes a sale may be more important than, a service,
Right.
and
100%.
that's my thing. If you could get that, tied down, you're gonna be very successful, man.
And I think that's an awesome point. I love that. And the sales part of it, like if you're a bad salesperson, it'll come off as
I am.
salesy. If you're
I tell you right there, I am.
yeah, but I would disagree with that statement because I think because you're genuine and authentic, you're a great salesperson,
So
right?
that's my thing. Like if you have a good service, it sells itself. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like think about it with your service, dude. You're arguably one of the best in this country. You killed it on the East Coast.
I
You're a
paid him to
kid.
say that, guys. I paid him.
You killed it on the East Coast. This guy's killing it on the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? And Drew. I mean, I watched you, dude. For you to go from a big city and make a lateral move like that to another big city, it speaks
I
volumes of
appreciate
you.
you.
And I kind of thinking back now, I kind of did the same thing in Miami. I went from Miami to New York to make a name for myself. You
Absolutely.
know, it took years, but you were able to believe in yourself, you trust in yourself. I'm sure you had a lot of doubters along the way, thinking you were crazy or, saying hated on you because of the dope stuff you were doing, just to try to get an edge. That's
Right.
unfortunately how life works. But you're able to stay true to yourself. You believe in yourself. Obviously, you got a spiritual presence behind you as well. That you can really stay confident in. To keep you on course to be the man you are today, dude. What I
Look, guys,
mean?
I'm interviewing Coach CJ right now, and he just dropped 30 seconds of just all love. Like, we got to give more love to everybody. Like, I felt great hearing that. Of course, who doesn't want to hear
Nah,
some
man.
kind words
You know
like that?
what?
But
We live in a society, man. There's a lot of hate and everything like that, man. And you know what's gonna come tomorrow, man. Give guys their flowers, man, when they do it. You know what I'm saying?
oh,
Like
love
we
that.
don't, you know what it is? We don't have enough. I feel like our kids don't have enough great guys doing this for them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we grew up in a tough, we got to be rough kind of era. Go hard or go home. There's a
Yes,
lot more to this journey besides that, and there's guys you got to do that to. But like didn't say, providing a service when you know how to connect to your guy, you know the right path to take with him. You know,
absolutely. I mean, I
but
love
like my
that.
thing is, like, think about it. Our coaches always told us, you look good, you play good, right?
Yeah.
If you feel good mentally, dude, you go out there and you're ready to kill it with your guys, bro. I'm being honest.
100%. Let's build off that, like feeling good to play good. Right now, with a lot of what are some of the biggest questions? Say you got to work out on Monday, Coach CJ, and we'll say, well, you train all athletes, but let's just talk about baseball. What do you think, like, most of your baseball athletes come in from that weekend? Like, what are you hearing from them? Like, is it only metrics? Is it failure? Is it I'm sad? Is it I'm pissed?
It's
Like, what?
it's it's a little bit of both, man, to be honest. We live in a very big analytical, era right now. I mean, you see everything is in a metric, coming from speed, vert, exit velo, I mean, throwing velo, you name
PG
it,
ranking?
there is everything, So honestly, I feel like our kids stress themselves out too much. I try to get them off that. I have, no lie, I have a rap soda. I hate it sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like kids hit, they're looking at the TV, it's unrealistic, and they're playing for a number instead of actually
Right.
playing the game of baseball, man.
That's what
You
it's
know?
about. That's where you're
And
gonna
it's like,
thrive.
okay, cool, and I'm happy. At one point, coaches were recruiting off these numbers, but it still has to translate to the game. You know what I'm saying? You can hit a 90-mile-an-hour fastball in the tunnel, but you can hit 90-mile-an-hour fastball in the game. Who the
Different.
fuck cares? I mean, it's
It's
not hit
different.
for crazy, but who cares? You know what I'm saying? All right, great.
It's
You
a New
could run a
York
six.
podcast. You knew there's
Yeah,
one F bomb was
nah,
gonna happen.
but then, but think about it, man. You played with guys, that run 6'2", 6'3s, but can only get three stolen bases. Like, what's good of that?
It's
Then I played with guys
useless.
that run a seven flat. You know what I'm saying? But they're grabbing 30 bags because they're smart and they know how to, get that first step, or anticipate better, or just get better jumps off pitchers. And those little things I try to implement as much as I can with my guys. Just talk the game of baseball. Being aggressive, taking the extra base. You know what I'm saying? Running hard out the box, making a hard turn at first, putting pressure on the defense, I mean, and we're seeing
Oh,
it right now, with the pitch clock. That's just instant pressure on a pitcher. Look how guys
yes.
are rushing to the plate, high leg kicks, just basic fundamentals going out the windows. We're watching it, firsthand. And it's like, dude, if you could do that yourself as a base runner, you're seeing big leaguers,
Oh,
give your guys fat pitches or walk bases, and,
we're
giving you
human.
better opportunity. Yeah, dude. And
I
that's the
love
one
that.
thing. So going back to that, I love that you said we're human. We live in such an analytical data, like analytical, time, where we want to read data so much that we forget to be human,
Right.
and listen, guys, you're gonna fail, you're gonna make mistakes. It's not the end of the world. Tomorrow's gonna happen, you know,
Yeah, well,
and
God
that's the
bless.
thing.
And if it
God
does,
bless.
a game ain't that important. Like, the game's not that
True.
important. We just, like, we're living, man. Like, we're gonna have
Yeah.
another game, right?
Yeah. So it's like you can't let your highs get too high or your lows get too low. You
That's
you go 5 for 5, bro. Take it like it's expected out of you. You work to do that, right?
yes.
Cool. Now repeat that. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And that's the
Yes.
difference. The guys that go farther, they're able to repeat that or get consistently well at doing it. You know, you can't judge a kid off one game. You have guys like, oh man, this top player, this PG rank player, he didn't even get one hit off of us. Cool, guys, that's baseball. It's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying?
That's
But
what
a majority of the time, that guy's getting 2, 3 hits those games, and that's what they see. You can't judge a kid off one game.
A couple of things to unpack there. Is like I only recruited for a couple of years out of college, but I one of my only recruits didn't get a hit when I watched them. I watched them 3 games. Homeboy didn't even get a hit, right? Like, and it just that's more so the fact like I just saw bigger things that this kid could grow into. Like there was a lot of room for this kid to grow, right? Like if I see a kid who's one dimensional and he goes 0 for 3, that's a different, like if he has a bad swing and he goes 0 for 3 and poor attitude, like, yeah, I don't know if I want that kid. But if I see a kid doing everything he's supposed to do, it's just like the metrics aren't there or the results aren't there. That's a part of baseball. Like we're gonna have that's gonna be part of the game. But if I have a kid who mentally shows that he could withstand that, and it's business as usual the next day, my money's on him to continue to get
Exactly.
better. Because you just said
I
it, dude.
I
Like,
I agree. I tell the kids all the time, like, they hear my career. My sophomore year at Dade was arguably my best season ever. I hit 460, led the country in hitting. And, people ask me, they're like, my bad. My bad.
he's getting
Shoot, I
choked
forgot
up
what
about that
I was
460.
No, I hit 460 and people ask me, like, what did I do to do that? And like how it changed me. And it's like, dude, like I was expected to do that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I was expected to do that. I went out there every day. I worked to do that. And when it happened, you know, the games I thought I was gonna get recruited, bro, I would go 4 for 4, two doubles, two stolen bags, nothing. Nothing. I was thinking I was gonna go into day the next day, have 5 offers, I saw UM there, I saw University of Tampa there, nothing, right? The games I went 0 for 3, you know, offer from University of Tampa, offer from or Angels or UCF. I'm like, what's going on there? But like I said, I never let my highs get too high, my lows get too low. You know, even though I went 0 for 3 that game, I conducted myself as a professional. I hustled in and out. It's like, shoot, if I can't do something in the batter's box and contribute to help my team, what can I do on the field? You know what I'm saying?
Wait,
Or
I gotta
what?
cut you. That's amazing. I don't think kids care about that. I don't think kids care about winning a
Yeah.
game or helping the
So it's
team because they
like,
went over 2.
yeah, the best season I had, I'm telling you, dude. Like bro, I was on fire that year, man. Like my teammates will tell you. And again, the awesome weekends I had, man, the awesome weekends I had, hello? Yeah, I gotta go. Yeah, the awesome weekends I had, I'm thinking I'm gonna get all these letters, all these offers, pro interest, bro, absolutely nothing. Nothing, quiet. And then the games, I struggled, but I was playing hard. I was running in and out, hopping up my teammates, picking guys up. They were paying attention to all of that. And looking back
Wow.
now, that's what coaches are really looking for. When you're great, everybody's, on your tail. They're on your tail, they're hyping you up, but that adversity tells who you really are. And when things hit the fan, and if you're slamming your glove, throwing your bat, showing, a contagious negative attitude in the dugout, they see that, because this is like I said, like we know this is a game of failure is gonna happen. It's gonna happen at some
Yes.
point, you know. So my biggest thing is to tell the guys, never let your highs get too high, your lows get too low, and you never know who's watching. And
Ah, I
like you
love
said,
that.
you recruited a kid, and every time you see him, you get one hit,
Oh,
but he had all the tangibles, bro.
my
And
head
look at
coach
how it played
fell
out.
asleep at his game. My head coach went to go see him and fell asleep. That just goes to show how interested he was. But it worked out. The kid got drafted. He's an amazing human being and he's a
That's
successful
awesome.
professional. Back to your point about don't let your highs get too high, lows get too lows. I would and to that point, like it's not your like we gotta continue to educate our kids. Like it's not your identity. You play for blank high school, you're a baseball player. That's not who you are. It's part of what you do, but you got to be a good person, a brother, a good student, a good son, like a good like
And you know
teammate.
what's funny? I had this conversation with one of my sophomores in football this morning. I don't know why he had the Thursday off, crazy. But you know what I'm saying? I'm like, dude, you never know who you're gonna meet along this journey. You know what I'm
Never.
saying? No matter what, things may not be going your way, but you can always be a good teammate. You can always work hard. and people pick up on these things. And God forbid, it doesn't go the course you want. You have an injury, or you know what? The game passes you by. It happens. You know what I'm saying? You never know who you're going to meet along this journey where they could create opportunity for you to make, you know what I'm saying, that paper you want to make as a pro athlete. It happens all the time. I have guys that have phenomenal college careers, and along that way they intern somewhere, or even did a kids camp somewhere, and now they're a VP with a big time cars dealership or something like that because of that one fielding clinic they did for a kid's birthday.
I
You know what I'm
love that.
saying?
That's I love
It's
it.
crazy. So I'm big on, like I tell my guys, like even Izzy. Izzy got drafted in the fifth round by the Jets, and I mean it's a blessing, but the job's still not done. I mean, be the people's champ. Do great things in the community. You could get a lot more out of this career. You know what I'm saying, than just running a football.
Then, by the way, Izzy gets busy. I am a massive Jet fan. I didn't choose
Oh
this
man,
life.
that kid,
It
that
is
that
what it
kid,
is. And
that kid made me a Jet fan now.
Coach CJ, you've been training Izzy since when?
13, man. I got him right before his freshman year, I think, in high school. I was fortunate to help him out, along his process all throughout high school. Um, he was again a kid that was overlooked in high school, believe it or not. He was never the number one running back in New York City, but that didn't phase him, just motivated him. He worked harder. He didn't play victim. He didn't care about that. His goal was, I got to play college football. I want to play at the highest level, and if I'm capable of doing that and getting my body, where it needs to be, he personally felt he could make this run to the NFL. And just like anybody else, he really bettered on himself. I mean, he kept himself in the right environment. That's that's one big thing.
That's everything.
And he kept himself in the right environment where he was able to push himself, to be at the level he is today, where he got that call on draft night.
God, it's gotta be so special, man. It's like to meet a young
Yeah, man.
12,
That
13
that was
year
that
old.
was that no lie, Drew, that was really big for me in my career. Like I have a huge baseball background. I grew up in Miami, so baseball and football is all we know. That's all we do. So even training for baseball, we train like football players. We have a lot of um correspondence when it comes to that. We it's pretty much like a lateral move. We train to be the best athletes out there. When I was growing up, it was like I'm never sure I'm an athlete. Our coaches put that in our head right away. So it was like you have these big doofy first basemen still thinking they're Alex Rodriguez, what I'm saying, even though they're not, but they believed and they trained themselves like they were, so they could maximize themselves.
And to that point, man, like I get a lot of that. Like when I speak with parents on maybe an introductory session, a first eval session, I'm like I ask them this just to get a little bit of insight. But I'm like, hey, what position does little Mike play? And they'll tell me like first and second and left field. I'm like, all right, like, but in my head, I always talk about like, dude, no, you play anywhere, man. Like you play wherever the game asks you to. You got to learn how to become an adaptable like um athlete
I'm
too.
big on that. Like even with kids, I mean, but just for learning the game, what I'm saying, know where to be to anticipate later. You know what I'm saying? So even
Yeah,
though you may be a shortstop or second baseman in college, yeah, I mean, there's gonna be balls hit the outfield, right? You gotta know where to position yourself, how to anticipate better. You know what I'm saying? Like your reads are just better, if you know how
yes,
to play every position.
yes, 100%. And like I've
But
been a
but this
short.
is another thing. You learn how to play a position, you give yourself more value too. I'm being
That's what I was just gonna
honest.
say. I played right field my
And
first year in college because I could hit, but the middle was clogged up. What am I gonna say? You know what, coach? I'm good on the bench. I'll hang out till
well,
next
you
year.
you want to hear
Get
my
out of
story? I
here.
did. Check this out. So my my sophomore year, I had to redshirt. I was a second base shortstop. Played shortstop all throughout high school. Made all day, the whole nine. My sophomore year, well, my freshman year, I hit 380. Had a great year. Sophomore year, I go take my physical. My labrum was torn. I didn't even know. I played my whole freshman year with a torn labrum, so the
Damn.
doctors didn't clear me. I had to take a medical red shirt that year. The guys that played second base and shortstop, which they're my brothers till this day, um, both were all conference. You know, they had to lose their job. So they really had to mess up or not hit. For me to get that opportunity back, I had to earn it. So going back into the fall, Steve Hurts was that's like my dad, man. I love that guy to death. That's really one of my mentors, my
That's
idols,
awesome.
one of the best coaches I've ever had in my life, man. Still in my life, very heavy to this day. Um, you know, I went to his alma mater. He saw me like as a son of his. And I'm thankful for him for treating me like that. But, we had the honest talk, like, see, it's gonna be tough for you here. Where do you want to go? I had no answer. You know what I'm saying? Like I swear to God, I had no answer. And to me, it was like playing for Dade, that's a big thing if you're from Miami. Miami Dade is one of the best programs. I grew up in Miami. I played for their travel team since I was 16. So like that was more personal for me. And it was like, I ain't going nowhere. Like
I'm here.
I'm here, what I'm saying? This is my team. Everybody, everywhere I was at, I had those leadership qualities. I was always looked at as a captain. And even though I wasn't playing, guys still perceive me like that. And, I have an extra year on them now. Let me get bigger, faster, stronger, myself, let me come back from injury, the right way. And let me earn this, and I put that on myself. My coaches thought I was crazy. My high school coaches, were like, yo, this is gonna be tough. My trainers thought it was gonna be tough, but I was very resilient,
I love
and in
that.
that fall, I proved everybody wrong. And then we had that end of the fall meeting. It was like, all right, cool. We're gonna have this conversation again. Where do you want to go? And I was like, all
Whoa.
right. He goes, you can go anywhere you want, but it has to be out of the state of Florida. So I started laughing. I'm like, dude, just as I do, you're not gonna go to another junior college, you know, to start the spring and play. I was like, dude, I'm not a pitcher. like if I'm a 95 arm and say I want to go to Chipola, like
Yeah.
they're gonna take me right away. They're not gonna
Yes.
take, you gotta earn that in the fall to get in that lineup. So I was like, Hurts, I'm not going nowhere, man. He goes, all right, well, you're gonna be the smallest DH in the country. You're gonna hit third or fourth for me every day. He goes, you'll get your reps on the field, whether it's in left field, right field, second base, shortstop, third base. He goes, but with that bat, you can hit third and fourth for me every single day. And sure enough, I did that. A couple weeks into the season, one of our left fielders, didn't produce how he was supposed to. And I got the opportunity to play the outfield, and I made all state as an outfielder, you know?
I love that. And that doesn't happen if you're not just open minded and just coachable,
Dude,
right? Like so
you
many.
know what it was? Like my will to win was just it's really like it's funny like I joke around with like when our kids mess with us and it's like you really don't want me to compete. When it's time to compete,
There's two
I'm
different
not
types
this
of
guy,
coaches.
like I switched to kill mode, man. Like
Yeah.
I like there's like to me, being honest, I personally hate the term friendly competition. I wasn't raised like that.
I don't
There
know
was
what that
nothing friendly.
means.
I don't know. Like I can't relate to that. What I'm saying? My coaches really was like it was a war for us. They put us in that mentality. I played very competitive baseball in Miami. I mean, high school baseball in Miami when I was growing up was definitely one of the best experiences I've had
Yes.
in my life. Great competition, great kids. I mean, a lot of guys made it to the big leagues, from my class, and I hung with those guys, and it was phenomenal. But like I said, like there's nothing friendly about competition when it came to me. So it's
Dude.
like it to me when it's like time to compete, I flip a switch and it's like I go into kill mode. I don't care how you feel. I don't care if you're down. I'm really trying to put my foot on your neck and keep
Yeah.
going. Me being honest, like it's just this what it is.
Yeah, we'll
And
chop it up. We'll
that's
chop it up after this. Like we'll go get
yeah,
lunch together.
like no lie,
But
like I joke with guys, like I had a kid throw like a perfect game, and one of my kids takes a jersey picture, a jersey swap picture with him. I'm like, dude, that would have never happened. Like I didn't talk to kids for 4 years in high school because of the school they went to,
yo,
you know.
okay,
But
dude,
and then
that
it's like I
is
meet these kids in college. I'm like, yo, dude, this guy was really cool. But I was just in such a mindset that it was like it was us or you, and I'm gonna go with me every time.
that's
And
man, it's
that's one
refreshing.
of
It's
my things
refreshing.
I try to. Oh yeah, dude. And when I'm training, I do bring that out in my guys. And there's times I gotta really, change my tone, change my delivery, and really, impact on my kids. I mean, I know you saw the other day. There was a situation. We live in a clickbait era. Everything's for Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. These kids are hiring video guys to go out there, to film every move they make, and it could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I had one of my kids literally hire a camera guy, and he's a great pitcher, phenomenal athlete. But dude, he made himself look like the biggest rec ball player I ever seen in my life. Striking kids out, turning around, pointing to the camera, blowing kisses. And if I was at shortstop, bro, I might have beat him up in that dugout. I'm being honest.
Damn, we're fighting. We're fighting. We're
I might
fighting.
have beat him up in that dugout. Saying that
Dude.
because you know what I'm saying? The job's not done. You know what I'm saying? The job's not done. We did not finish. What are you doing right now? Do you
Is
want to
that guy in
fix this
high
ball game?
school?
High school kid.
You didn't do
You know what I'm
nothing
saying?
yet.
Oh no, absolutely nothing. But you know what's even more disappointing is that the
The
coaches allow that to
coach.
happen.
Where's
The
the coach
coaches
at?
allow that to happen. Like I'm not
Where's
a
the
coach, I'm his
parents?
trainer, but he's one of my guys. So I saw that you posted on social media. You're definitely going to hear something from me. You know what I'm saying? Because you're that may be okay out here. Like I said, it's New York City. It may be a little different. It may be cool. It may look good on social media. But you know what? That coach in Miami don't like that. That coach in Mississippi
No.
don't like that. That coach
No.
in CLA don't like that. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So you want to have,
Damn.
and this goes back to the beginning. My job is to make you better than me. You know, and if you're doing that and hurting yourself, and I know how these coaches are, you know, I can't let that slide. And if you want to be that kind of player, or that's how you want to go about things, I'm not the guy for you. I'm being
I
honest. I'm
love
really
that.
not the guy. Like if you want somebody around your coattail and give you the red carpet treatment, albeit. I'm
This
saying,
ain't
but
the
I
place for
hate to,
you.
I hate to break it to you. Life don't work like that, and
Damn.
it's gonna come to a reality check. Once you get to college baseball, if you get that opportunity, because if a coach
And
sees that,
yo,
what were we talking about?
everyone's
They
really
watch
good.
all the little things. They want to see when you feel, how you handle yourself. I mean, you're having great success and you're treating it like that. I
What do
don't.
you, how you
I
gonna
mean,
handle
dude.
more success?
I
You
feel like
can't
I'm
even
gonna
handle
lose half my team because
success.
the team's gonna go at you, and then my guys are gonna get in a pro, and what? I lose half my team? Nah, dude, it's not happening.
Damn. That's
We'll say that
crazy.
bullet.
There's a lot of that going on, coach. I'm just back like, yeah, we gotta get away with these participation awards. Like
Oh,
you
big
you
time.
you participate to win. Like that's you only participate to win, right? Like what? No, you shouldn't get an eighth place trophy.
I
Like
think it was
it's
always first and runner up when I grew up.
it's like
First and runner up.
and
And think about it. We didn't even
even
want those
runner
runner
up is
ups.
like skit like runner up. I was like, yo, where's the garbage at?
Yeah.
Like I don't want this. Like runner up. That means I was the first worst person that like there. Like what? Like I
Dude,
like
I remember I
I'm
played on a team, right? The Miami Cardinals. Oh, we were stacked, man. One of the best teams to ever be assembled in Miami-Dade County history, dude. And
that's fact. I got a fact that
this
checked
is
out with like
bad.
A Rod, Manny Machado.
Nah, we had a squad, bro, but no lie, we didn't lose the game until we got to 14 and under, right? And I'll never forget 2 years straight, we didn't lose a game. Went to Cooperstown, won it, the whole nine, man. We Cabot World Series, UAAA World Series, we won it all. And we go to these tournaments and sweep. We had a squad. Gio Gonzalez was on our team. We had a lot of good
Jeez.
kids, man. And long story short, we lost our first game. I'll never forget this team, dude. Like I'm telling you, like we lost against the Dallas Tigers, and they're still around, man. Great organization. They beat us, right? And I'll never forget they beat us, and it was like a World Series because we never lost. And that one game, our coach decided like, we had regular uniforms, nothing crazy, but that tournament, he decided to deck us out. A
Ooh.
pinstripe, person like we had the St. Louis Cardinals jerseys with red pinstripes. Yo,
Damn.
fresh, dude. We look so fresh. And we were so hyped to get these jerseys. And that was the first game we won, and we lost. Yo,
Oh
I never
man.
forget, right? I never forget. I didn't want my coach came out, bought a garbage can out, right? Put it there. And he's like, everybody throw those jerseys out. And we were all like, nah, dude, like these are fresh. He goes, I bought them. Because I bought them. They're going in here now. And we were like, no way. We all throw jerseys
Oh,
out.
that
It was
there's a
hilarious.
lot to unpack on just that, like the mentality of like changing up, thinking you're bigger than you are, and then you're
Oh yeah,
vulnerable. You're vulnerable at
big
that
time.
point.
And listen,
Man,
that was a life lesson for me at 14, and it was like one of those things, like, like The job's not finished. You guys aren't bigger than the game, and we were getting to that point, we felt like we were untouchable and we got punched in the face that day, and that was a reality check. I mean, we came back, we fought, we ended up beating them in the championship, and we were who we are, but we all need that check in reality, to get us back grounded, what we got to work. My pro guys are the same way. I mean, beautiful story this year, Josh Palacios, I mean, made it to the big leagues last year. He got DFA'd with the Nationals, gets picked up by the Pirates and put in double A. Hasn't seen double A in a couple of years. You know what I'm saying? But what did he do? Did he sit there and, complain, get down, cry about it? Nah, bro. He just went on a tear and he's in the big leagues this week.
Let's
So it's like,
go. Love to hear it.
that's another situation. You can either play victim or make something happen. And
Boom.
and
So
got my
many
boy got that
victims.
mindset, and he fought through it. And now he's at where he needs to be, where he should be, and he's there ready to make the most out of that opportunity where he doesn't have to get sent down, and he could make a great living off this.
I love it. I love it. I love it, man. That's what I really try and teach these kids. First off, just fail. You ain't perfect, gonna fail a lot. And if you care about baseball, your development, or want to get better, you have to fail. That's the bridge to getting better. If you don't want to get better, then you don't fail. Okay. But you're just gonna continue to make mistakes and be a victim and not grow and develop.
Guys,
Um,
like this in anything, you got to work, And another
yeah.
thing I tell the guys, Drew, 21 days to build a habit, 3 to break it. So it's like, if you really live by that, oh man, you're gonna be a
That's
workhorse. Trust me,
um
and that's gonna help you beyond it. It's gonna help you beyond this game.
I love that. If you had to look back to your 14-year-old self, coach, what advice would you give yourself as you're trying to get recruited, you're trying to, continue to get better and all these pressures and doubt, you don't have a scholarship yet. Like what would you tell yourself?
Um, you know, like play with passion. Like you never know who's watching you. When you play with passion the right way, and I'm not talking about showboating, you know what passion is. Running in and out, playing hard, showing you care. Coaches really do pay attention to those little things. But my thing is, if you consistently do the right things, good things will happen. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna be ready for that big moment. You're gonna put those hours. Like, listen, you may go over that week. You know what I'm saying? But those hours you put in cage, you may get that one big hit. You know what I'm saying? It just the ball always bounces your way when you do the right thing. And I'm talking about
Absolutely
like
love it.
all the right little things. Like, there's another high school story. I never
I
forget.
love the stories. I love it.
I threw a piece of paper out. And I'm telling you, these are all life lessons that I use today. That
Yes.
really made an impact. With no
Yes.
bullshit, right? I threw a piece of paper out, hit the rim, came out, just left it. My coach was like, "You're not gonna throw that out?" I was like, "It's all right." He was all right. Watch what happens when you hit a line drive in the gap. That center field is gonna run a 4-2 and fucking lay out, and you're gonna be upset, right? Yeah, you didn't do the right things. But then that guy's throwing 95. You might, get beat up on the hands, but you're strong enough. You punch it over shortstop. Those are the things that happen. And we all looked at each other and we all like, you know what, man? F you. Get the piece of paper, throw it away.
Just go
Like,
get it. Go
like
get it.
little things like that, bro.
I
Man,
love
oh
it.
man, I got stories from high school, but again, there was times I felt like I was bigger than everybody else. Just being a kid growing up. You got to get humbled. Um, always work hard. You never know who's watching you. But my thing is really control the things you can control, and that's your attitude. You're
Hmm.
gonna fail in this game. Expect to fail. And that's one thing I would change about my younger self. Just be more in control of that. Because listen, there was times that my talent pushed me through, but my attitude wasn't always the best. And that could have probably hurt me. That listen, I got stereotyped a lot. I had tattoos young. I grew up in, a great household, but I went to a tough high school. So
Right.
people label me a thug, or this or that. And it is what it is. And my playing had to overshadow all of that, but those are the things I would change,
I love
if
it.
I could go back at 14, 15 and just really be in control of the things I can. And that's definitely my emotion. You know, there's one thing to play with passion, but there's one thing not to be an ass. Let me say.
Big difference, big difference. What about
Yeah.
think about like your middle school athlete, 13, 14, like just a few bullet points on 1 to 3 on what they could or should be doing in the gym setting right now.
Oh man, I'm big on my kids. Run, get out there, run. You know,
Fast, run
work on that
fast.
speed. Listen, you want to hit the ball hard, you want to run fast and move fast.
100%.
Simple, literally simple. And the
Right.
only way you could do that is if you're out there implementing it. I mean, I can remember growing up, and we were always racing, competing against each other. Like, if you beat me, running back. And then I beat them, running back. Next thing you know, you got 10 sprints, but you're maxing yourself out. You know, these kids out here in the Northeast, and while I'm very, fortunate that I grew up down south, I was always outside playing. I didn't have to be confined indoors for 5 to 6 months. And
Right.
that's the thing. These kids out here, these you got to find a way to simulate that game like that. These kids call a hit, you know what I'm saying? But what happens after you hit the ball? You watch the kids get out the box. It looks terrible. They don't know how to take the right angles, right turns, and it's like, all right, cool. You just turn around, a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Well, why are you on first base?
That's a
You
problem.
know,
That's a
it's the
problem.
problem. So my thing is, guys, get out there more, really work on your speed, and I mean, you don't need a professional to help you, I
Run
mean, you
fast.
have run fast, hills are great, different terrains are great, hills, beaches, little things like that. But you can always work on your strength, guys. There's no reason why you guys can't do push-ups and pull-ups.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you
Yeah.
guys be able to hold your own body weight. So young guys, work on your push-ups every day. Work on your pull-ups every day. Because you know what? You want that attention. Guys also like how you look too. You know what I'm saying? That could be
100% eye
another eye
test.
opener. Eye test is a big one. Even though you never want to judge a book on its cover,
You want to
they
see
do.
what book looks good?
Right,
Yeah. You
exactly.
want
You
to
know what I'm
see the
saying?
colors
But
got to look
you know what I'm
appealing.
saying? There was times my coach told me, "Yo, see, take your pregame in your Under Armour," and I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "Dude, you're jacked." I'm like, "Oh my god," But he was doing it
You're right.
for a
Yeah,
reason.
you're
He
right.
wanted guys. If I put my jersey on, we grew up in a baggy era. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? We had,
Yeah.
the big pants, long jersey. We grew up in a baggy era. I could wear
Yeah.
basketball shorts under my
Yeah.
baseball pants. Now everything's fitted. But they couldn't tell my feature, my
That's
physique. But
great.
then, I'm zooming all over the field, hitting the ball all over the place. And I was like, okay. But the eye test does play a big thing, guys. So you know what? Work on the things you can control. You can always work on push-ups, pull-ups, body weight exercises. You can get outside, do sprints, stay active, man.
I love
But
that. I'll add one thing to like the strength side, just like you said. All those exercises, push-ups, squats, lunges, pull-ups, and then just add tempo, guys. If you don't have equipment, hold
right,
positions, right?
tempo is
Isometrics,
huge. I mean,
eccentric,
time
slow.
under tension is a big thing. Instead of rushing into motion, guys, get into a split stance position. Listen, you could do 20 quick, split squats. You feel a good pump. Now,
Yeah,
control that tempo going down. You may do a 5 second countdown. You may do 3 reps and it may
done.
feel like those 20 reps you just did prior. You know what I'm saying? So you could, do little things like that, trick your body so you don't plateau, you maximize yourself. But guys, you got to work. You can't be at home, you can't be on the game. I mean, listen, do it. It's fine, but make time for yourself. You know what I'm saying? You still got to prioritize and put time
100%.
into your craft, master it.
Love that, Coach. This has been awesome, man. We got like I feel like we have another part two, more maybe college
Oh, dude,
stories.
Drew, I'm definitely down. I'm definitely down.
I
Definitely
love
down to
it.
do this, man.
This is great.
Anything I could do to give back, give gems, I mean, the best way is, we're fortunate to live through these experiences. And like we said, our job is to make this road easier for our guys, so they can learn from our mistakes or, from our successes, and follow that prototype right there, the plan is there,
I love it.
you
I
know.
love it. It's always the best talking to it's a real one, man. You're in for the right reasons. You care about your community, and
Thank you, brother. I appreciate
we,
you, man.
we need more of those. But before you go, Coach, tell our listeners where they could find you on social media platforms.
Guys,
Where you at?
if you guys are in New York City, I'm located in Long Island City, Queens, 3619 Star Avenue, about 5 minutes from the Midtown Tunnel. So all you kids in the city, downtown Brooklyn, all over Brooklyn actually, or even in Queens, my doors are always open. if you see this podcast, let me know. Coach Drew, I'll hook you up. It's all love when you
Let's
come in my spot,
go.
man. Yeah, man, guys, come through. I love to connect with you guys. Like I said, we're a big family, and my guys likewise. If you ever go to that West Coast, Drew is that
I
guy,
got you.
man. Drew
Got
is
you.
really that guy. He'll take care of you. It's all love, man, and it's literally a lateral move between the both of us, man. But guys, find somebody that my thing is play the game, knows how to relate to you guys, and actually get you guys. Listen, I may not be for everybody. Drew may not be for everybody. You know what I'm saying? This is your journey, man. Find that guy, find the right person that's going to motivate you, push you to the next level, man, and trust that process, man. Really, really trust it, believe in yourself, and great things will happen.
Boom, mic drop, coach. I appreciate you, and we'll see you on here next time. All right.
Awesome, Drew, man. Appreciate you having me, brother.
All right, coach. Take care.
You too.